So, Mr. 86, you replied to Mr. 48. My name's John. Hi. I need to hijack a few seconds of this. This is a video response to you and your video, but to just inform my subscribers here. A while back, I made those two videos in critique of Veritas's project. A lot of people have kind of chimed in on this now at this point, but we had a little bit of an exchange. We put it behind us, and as part of sort of extending a gesture of goodwill to make sure there was no lasting tension between myself and Noah, I'd said that I would help him make video responses to the various atheist videos that he was going to receive, and that he did receive. And I found one, and this is the first one, and this is our new friend, Antybu. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but Mr. 86, that replied to Mr. Veritas 48. Marvelous. Okay. So, Mr. 86, どうぞよろしくお願いいたします. Here we go. You made a video. Oh my God! You're on YouTube. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. It began. Your critique of Noah's bit with the labels and the positive and the negative atheism. I'm good with that. That's fine. That's fine. So I don't have any issue with that. But I do want to talk about at least 2 points that you made in that video that I have contention with. And so first, you're talking about the definition that Veritas gave you. And then you came up with this clever little story about an alien that came from a different universe, that created this universe to teach the inhabitants of this universe, namely humans, how to create pasta. And you said that these two ideas fit in the same definition. What was Veritas's definition? He said, or at least you said, that in a personal exchange, Veritas, Noah said that God is a personal agent responsible for the creation of the universe. I rather like your alien pasta thing, but I think it's ultimately meaningless in that we can probably assume that Veritas assumes that when he says universe, he's talking all of existence. If he believes in multiple universes, then we could probably assume that his definition for God would apply to those as well. And your illustration would necessitate the existence of another universe in which an alien would exist and be, dominated by the governing forces of that universe in such a way that it would allow him to create a secondary universe in which there are human beings and pasta and so on. And it would totally miss the point as far as the definition is concerned. So as cute as the illustration was, I think it's not very useful, because you can very easily edit the concept that Noah was putting forward and say the multiverse, all of physical existence, something like that. And although I could certainly be marring Noah's words, I'm guessing that it's not so easily put aside. I would encourage you rather to focus on the personal aspect, rather than just trying to pick apart this universe business. Focus on the personal aspect. What is a personal agent? That's the kind of critique you should have offered to this definition. But whatever. Okay, so next then you move to a critique of the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, and I was ready to go gun-ho with you again on this one, but then you let me down. But I know you have it in you to make it better. You see, you entertain this idea that if unsuccessful searches start to pile up, that somehow equals an inverse of probability of something's existence. Now, on the surface, I suppose it's very attractive, or it's very seductive to think that, but it's complete and utter baloney. Bullshit, as they say it in some parts of the country. Because depending on what you're looking for, the very means to your searching could be the determining factor as to whether or not you find it. You gave us a little analogy of finding a mosquito in a bedroom, and you said that if we couldn't find it with motion detectors and bug traps and so on, then the longer we search, the less and the more we find that it's not there, or the longer we search without finding it, the least or the less probable it is that a mosquito actually exists in that room. That's fine, but that's assuming that we are applying the best means of searching. You see, if you're going to set a mouse trap instead of a bug trap, and you set that trap and you're searching for the mosquito, and you search for it and search for it and search for it and search for it, this also is a fruitless search, as to use your words, and it would not equal a decrease in probability of any kind in the existence of a mosquito. Okay, so what you need to do here is unpack this a little bit more and tell us what it means to, tell us how we can be sure that our means to searching are valid. You implied it in your analogy with saying bug traps and motion sensors and all these kinds of things. But now you need to talk a little bit more about what we can expect, or how we can expect to find God. You touched on that a little bit. Did you? I want to say you did, now that I think about it. When you had said, what? Oh, yeah. When you had said that there is not going to be any empirical evidence, or there isn't going to be any logic proofs and so forth. I think Veritas believes that there are logical proofs to the existence of God. I think that's quite clear. I think that's entirely what he bases his channel on. However, the empirical evidence is not something that you can just lump together with reason. Those two are separate issues. I hope you can appreciate that. And if you don't, we'll have a fairly lengthy exchange in which I will have to try to beat the shit out of you, lovingly. But barring that distinction of these two things, I think that's where, if you're going to press the issue with Noah, that might be an avenue to try. So again, your critique of his definition was somewhat lame. I would focus more on the personal agent aspect rather than trying to get cutesy with what he means by universe. I think we can assume all of existence if we're dealing with something that he claims to be omniscient, omnipotent, and all these kinds of things. Which the three of those different, even though they're different religions, they all think the same basic core idea about that particular God. That's what allows those people to work together in a panel. Also this bit about how you can calculate probability based on how long you're searching. No. And you even showed a picture of a bell curve when you said that on your video. So I really began to wonder if you knew anything at all as to what you were talking about. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Talk about the justification in means of measurement and justifying your means for searching. Edison said that he found so many ways of how not to create electricity. That didn't mean that electricity didn't exist, or that a means of conducting electricity didn't exist after he tried time and time again. It had nothing to do with the probability. It's not good. Shame on you. Bad argument. You seem like an interesting guy. I hope to cross swords with you again. Take care.